Okay. Good looking hands.
Ready?
I am ready. We have an Arcane Focus, a Change Course, a Weave into Nothing, a Deny, and a Pipit Hustler in the bottom hand here for Shinshire. And Matbimonte up top has Seeker, Acolyte of Shoku, Exarch of the Egg, and Strangle. With a couple of assorted resources of different colors. Pretty good stuff on both sides.
Winter Moon making it through to the top 8. Starting resources, Sapphire for Shinshire, Blood for Matbimonte, Wild now for Shinshire.
Going for an early change course there instead of focus. Better use of resources, and it sets up that Winter Moon power straight away, putting 2 cards in the crypt plus the original change course. Opts for change course as the 2 he puts back in. And Exarch down on the other side. We see that ever so important Windsinger Master of the Hunt coming out for Shinshire on that second Sapphire threshold, enabling all of those tasty interrupts.
And even a Weave being used has a Fate Weave as part of its component, so you can put another resource and can continue things. So no matter what Matbimonte played here, it likely was going to get weaved into nothing.
There's the other wild threshold, so we probably put a resource on top here, maybe. Put those 2 remaining cards back in, and we have 2 more interrupts open. And we see the Weave into Nothing come down there onto the Acolyte of Shoku. Wow, this is very aggressive with the interrupts here. I guess he's hoping to catch him flat-footed and without resources, taking out the Acolyte of Shoku and the Cottontail, but those 2 weren't even necessary because, as we see here, Matbimonte still has a 5th resource and is completely fine in this situation.
That may be to stop cards from entering the crypt, reducing the options for Kagalichu, for Rotten Rancor, or Mordrum's Gift, or whatever out of the crypt shenanigans that may be coming. And also for more Fate Weave.
So this is pretty good, honestly. Oh man, that could be incredibly spicy. Windsinger can come down here. There is also a Deny to protect it, but opts not to. Decides that the chances of hero fall here are too high.
Wants one more resource to protect it with Deny. Has the option to stop the Strangle, but no, there goes Strangle. That's another removal used up. And here we see the Smash Magus. It's a 4-cost 3/3 with a scrounge 2 to get +3/+3. So it's just a big 6/6 beater right now.
There is that hero fall. A little bit too late though. We're ready with the Deny this time. Hustler is going to come in, revert that Smash Magus. Brown Fox Scout is going to come in off the top of the deck, and Deny is going to finish up, take out that hero fall. So that's a pretty big board state switch there. Arendelle Monk instead is nowhere near as threatening. We see another Deny come off the top there, so once again Windsinger is safe.
Winterfield Seer will Prophecy, draw a card onto the next action. Bigger troops. Forcing trades.
Serious stuff in Matbimonte's hand though. Seeker and 2 Rancor. Needs another interrupt if he's going to protect Windsinger again next turn. Finds it. Somehow.
Finds it, puts a non-resource on top of the deck to be drawn with Matbimonte's next card. Winter Moon, some Winter Moon things.
Winter Moon, some Winter Moon things. And I believe that Weave into Nothing also has draw a card on it from that Thunderfield Seer, if I am not mistaken. Arcane Focus is a great pickup here. Likely we see the Seeker just getting played straight out. Weave into Nothing draws another card, which is another Arcane Focus, and things are looking pretty okay.
But again, there's still a Spiderling. It's probably going to block one of these troops, a Windsinger. Shinshire needs to keep going, establish that Winter Moon control. Not Out of the Woods needs to keep drawing cards and, change courses, and Arcane Focuses will continue to do that. The Kagalichi's cards are super expensive. Let's just have Deny and Weave into Nothing. We've got things and stuff.
So
we'll get those resources back.
Few interrupts in the hand there, couple.
Just a bit. 7 damage incoming. Matbimonte takes it all, leaves the Spiderling. Rotten Rancor, it's nothing. All that's left in hand is a Strangle. Kagalichu Power taking Underworld Crusader. Deny.
Well deny
also
too.
Draws a card. Closer and closer. Triple Shard of Instinct. Wintermoon uses up 1. Has lots of cards in Crypt to power. Gets another 7 in. Spiderling still doesn't block. Matbimonte holding at 3.
Notably, doesn't charge power there.
We'll go right into game 2 of this match. Shinshire winning out for game 1, but is on the play this time. Matbimonte needing to establish a victory before the Wintermoon deck takes control.
The Master of the Hunt is a pretty powerful fellow when it comes down to it. And once it's there, if the interrupts keep flowing, then it's hard to get rid of too.
Wintermoon peeking its head a little bit at the end of the Lasgar's Vengeance metagame, and now showing its face here in this top 8.
Decent amount of interrupts and a Transmography. No real threats though for Shinshire. Nothing much going on. Looks like the Exarch's going to get down without opposition. A couple of other things there too that potentially pose threats later in the game.
Just answers, but needs to have them ready to answer the questions.
I'm sure you're pretty happy with the second Transmog at this stage. Puts you in a relatively safe spot for the first few turns. One thing to note though, there isn't currently a second Sapphire threshold. And that could prove to be the undoing of this Wintermoon deck for this game. There's the turn 3 Crusader with speed.
Kagalichu player getting 5 damage in this turn.
Transmog makes a bloat cap, which is certainly less damage than a 4/4 with speed.
When it dies, Shinshire will have to discard a card. It's a death cry. Things might use that.
Still no Sapphire for Wintermoon here. This is pretty devastating.
Only has 1 more Transmography to use. Nothing to use it on really right here. We'll just take 2. Kagalichu Power into an empty crypt. Buries 2 resources and a Steel Intel. Takes a Monsagi Lilypad.
That's not a Sapphire either, but it is a card that requires double Sapphire, so that's always nice.
Kagalichu marching ever on, taking advantage of Shinshire's slowdown. Creating a Battle Hopper. Attacking for 2. Yes, definitely taking advantage, but it gets closer. Hero Fall ready to take out threats. Rotfall Gang, Eternal Seeker. Especially if Matbimonte gets there, if a Sapphire doesn't come out soon. But if it does, then Shinshire's great for a while. Oh, wild. It's not the worst, though. That now enables the Pipit Hustler.
Yeah, Pip Else is not bad because it does potentially turn off the recursion effect of Rockpaw Gang. Obviously, interrupting a Rockpaw Gang is fine, but it can just be returned to hand. It's debatable about which one of those is a better thing, though.
The damage from Matbimonte is now 3, but Pipit Hustler is interrupted by Hero Fall. Well, not interrupted. It is slain. Pipit Hustler is still going to transform the Exarch into Witch of the Witching Well. Witch of the Wishing Well, which will start exchanging the troops in hand when it attacks for other troops in deck and give them +1/+1. That could just spiral out. These are all useful troops, though.
The Sapphire! It finally happened. But there is 3 damage on the board that can't really be stopped that easily.
Eventually, the Typhoon Skyshaper can do something about it, but that's not going to be this turn.
The Wishing Well can put a troop back into the deck when it swings, and then take a random troop out of the deck here. Interesting. Okay, changes that into a Roid bot. The Dreadling gets made anyway. I'll be interested to see what he does here with this Witch of the Wishing Well.
I could see a world where Matbimonte keeps all of them, and actually does. Bob Yaziskan's removal, Rockpaw Gang is useful, an Eternal Seeker with 1 resource. I mean, but now Shinshire has all of the interrupts active. It has to try to find a way to stay alive.
Risky Lanapour sight there. That is obviously all of those interrupts and you don't have them open. So
I don't know if I agree with that Lanapour sight at all. We need to try to come back somehow. This attack will be for 4. Roidbot can even give itself... can even pump itself a little bit. Here's Rockpaw Gang. No interrupt available for it. And the Transmogger Fade's been used up.
It has, but there's a Hustler. Hustler and Deny can be played in the same turn, so not the worst, but you know, when you're on 5 life it barely matters.
Rockpaw Gang sacrifices the Battle Hopper to give itself flight. And even the Pipit Hustler is going to only turn it into a 5 cost. Can't block it yet. Can't block it still, and that's just lethal. For Moonsong Oracle 4/5 flight. Matbimonte evens out the match. So that game, Shinshire interrupts galore, but none able to play it unable to play them until it was too late. But gets to be on the play now. Gets a chance to set up before the mid-range Kagulichu's threats do too much damage. But it could be either player's game. This is for top 4 contention. The winner of this match taking home $125 at least. Good 1/8 of the prize pool.
Okay. A really awkward start for Shinshire, again looking fairly low on resources. We see double Seeker, Rancor, Paw in Matbimonte's hand, but also we see that Cottontail, which could be pretty crucial to making this hand work.
With that and Ice getting resources as Kagulichu is really consistent. But Shinshire now has an Arcane Focus and a Thunderfield Seer. Can't do them first turn, but deny, weave, weave into the unknown. If he gets there,
You know, I don't think he's getting there.
don't think so. I could see that. That's very. It's too risky. And you just had a game where you had interrupts galore and it didn't pan out. But it could. It absolutely could.
It could, but
Do you stake your tournament life on it?
yeah, exactly. So Arcane Focus does help here. Does get another shard. Interesting stuff. So he has kind of got what he needs here. He's going to be able to start interrupting things next turn, and I don't think that's too late.
No, I think it's fine now. We're going to see a game.
We see the mighty resource draws of discard. We do not. We see 2 to the crypt, 1 to the hand, which means 7 in hand for Matbimonte, and no discards of those seekers this time around. Does he play the slow shard? No, goes for the regular shard and hold up interrupt, which is almost certainly the right line when you've got to worry about Hierophants and Crusaders.
Double blood reached by Matbimonte. Underworld Crusader with speed. Not interrupted, but will be into the unknown. Returned to hand and transformed.
Probably smart too, honestly, because those things can become problematic with their draws. Another into the unknown. We see the wild ice come down here.
Likely getting a resource, getting above 4 or 5 resources. For Windsinger, for all these things, Wintermoon Power putting 2 cards from Crypt back into deck would draw a card on them.
Interested to see what he put on top of the deck there. Notably, there's no removal currently that works in Matbimonte's hand. Oh, that was pretty spicy though. Goes for the deny and the Thunderfield Seer there. Interesting choices.
Keeps 2 interrupts. Keeps an into the unknown. Weave into nothing will help Shinshire get into cards once they interrupt with Fate Weave. Lots of Fate Weave here.
Lots of Fate Weave.
They don't draw you cards, but they control what you're drawing in the future. It's not card advantage, but that filtering. Meanwhile, this Cottontail Explorer, let's not discount it. It is getting a damage in every turn on the dot.
And the work done. We see the
Wailing Rider, which used to be Underworld Crusader, transformed by Into the Unknown.
Wailing Rider with Shift Rage 2. There's the Windsinger. But at what cost? No 6
resource, sure.
To play it. I mean, that would have been amazing if you could have played it that turn, because the resources were all closed off there. How long will it take him to get the resource, I think, is the question. He can only answer one removal. Into the Unknown is there, but it's not able to stop a Seeker if it comes down. Only the Weave into Nothing can do that. So what's good here is that if he gets a resource off the top, he can play Windsinger free of fear from Hero Fall, which is the only real thing you need to worry about when you're playing Windsinger on your own turn. So good stuff. Can he keep up those interrupts the same way he did previously?
He had to discard 1 earlier, but he's also holding Into the Unknown. He's also drawing an extra card whenever Matbimonte does. Seven resources, Eternal Seeker and Rotten Rancor are online. Here's a Seeker. Has to be woven into nothing. The second Seeker, though, has to be interrupted. If it enters play, Into the Unknown won't quite stop it.
I think these next 2 draws decide the game. Focus is good. 2 weaves go back in. Can he find a resource? in the resource. Can he find an interrupt in the top 2? Finds a Cyclone Shaper. Definitely not a resource. Definitely not an interrupt. So one more draw to decide the game, I reckon. Like, once that Windsinger's gone, there's almost nothing left for Shinshire until he draws another one. Oh! Oh, but the Rancor is still live, right? The extra resource hasn't been played yet. So Hero Fall goes off, but the Rancor is going to bring back in that Seeker.
The Unknown played early, knowing that Seeker is going...
Oh! Goes for the Cockatrice to get that final card out of the hand, just to really push home that advantage. I forgot that was in there. That is probably better, yeah, for sure. Does provide Shinshire here with the opportunity to put Windsinger back in the deck, of course, but it does get rid of that final card, which could have been a problem.
Shinshire trying to crawl back from no cards in hand, the sad Winter Moon state. Dreaming Fox is a little bit more resilience here. Late game, if he's out of cards, draws 2 with an Oracle Song charge power, but Winter Moon, having no such luck, needs to keep that draw card momentum. And that momentum has just been lost. Matbimonte, 4 cards in hand, relevant cards. Even that that pack. Eternal Seeker for 1.
Oh, man.
Clearing the board. You got nothing. You got nothing, Winter Moon, is what that play says. You got nothing. You're drawing nothing. That's a shard of instinct. Only 10 damage represented by Matbimonte's board.
Steel Intel takes away an interrupt.
Don't let Winter Moon get back into this game by any means, is I think what that says. It is now a blood deny.
1 health left on this Winter Moon, and a resource off the top. Probably better that way. Probably better that way.
Matbimonte Kagalichu makes it into the top 4. Congratulations on finishing in the money.